Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Kids Corner. And before we start, I first want to welcome Eric and Suli to our children's ministry community. We are so happy to have you here. And to kick things off, as always, Kids Corner is something where when you have questions, you may ask your parents the questions. Occasionally, they will bring me the question. I will take the question and put it on a piece of paper. I'll put it in something, and then I take it out of the something, whether it's a bowl or something else, and I answer your question. So this time we will have two episodes. So the first episode, we have a question coming from Eric. Eric, it's actually a really good question. And the question is, why why does it say that Jesus rose from the dead after 3 days instead of 1 or 2 days? Okay, so first we have to see, where does it actually say in the Bible that Jesus actually rose from the dead after 3 days? There are many examples. Let me give you one of them. So one of them is Luke chapter 24, verse 46. It says, he told them, "This is what it is written. The Messiah will suffer and rise from the dead on the third day." So, to answer your question, why did Jesus rise from the dead after 3 days? We have to know what is the importance of the number three, or 3 days. So, in the Bible, this idea of the third day is actually associated with salvation. Okay, and of course, just in case, what does salvation mean in the Bible? It means that we're saved from being separated from God, where in the past, when Adam and Eve first sinned, and people, they were separated from God. We couldn't be close friends with Him anymore. But salvation means because we're saved, we're no longer separated. We can have a close relationship where we trust Him. Okay? That's what salvation means. Now, where does it talk about in the Bible? Again, the importance of 3 days, and how does it show this symbol of salvation? We start, if you remember, Eric, there is a story of Abraham. For a very long time, Abraham and Sarah, they wanted a child, and for such a long time, they did not get a child. And then one day, God gives them the child. Do you remember the name of the child? The name is Isaac. Of course, in this story, God wanted to test Abraham to see if he truly trusted God. So he tested him. He said he wanted Abraham to sacrifice his son. Okay? So Abraham just got his son after such a long time, and he asked him to sacrifice on the son. Believe it or not, it was on the third day that he was supposed to sacrifice Isaac, but on the third day, at the last moment when Abraham was about to sacrifice his son, God told him not to. So he saved Abraham's son from death. Okay? And instead, he told Abraham to sacrifice an animal. So where he was going to sacrifice his own son, God gave him something else to sacrifice. Okay? So on the third day, God saved his son. Now, it's not only just about Abraham. In the book of Jonah, I believe in 1 chapter 17, you remember the story of Jonah. Jonah is a prophet, and God asked him to go to Nineveh to preach to all these people, because God said these people are very evil. They're doing a lot of bad things, and I want you to preach to them so they will actually come back and listen to me. Okay, of course, Jonah didn't want to do that, and he ran away to Tarshish. And as Jonah was on a ship, there was a huge storm, and then he told the people on the ship to throw him over, because he knew it was his own fault of why there was a huge storm on the ship. And when they threw him over into the ocean, there was a huge fish that swallowed him. Guess how many days he was swallowed for? It was 3 days. Okay, 3 days. On the third day, Jonah actually prayed, and God made the fish spit Jonah out of the fish. Okay, not only was Jonah saved on the third day, but of course, if you remember again, why was Jonah supposed to go to Nineveh in the first place? It was to preach to the people. If Nineveh did not repent, God would have destroyed the city. It sounds kind of mean, right? But what they were doing was so bad that God wanted to destroy the city. And guess what? When Jonah actually told the people, the king from Nineveh heard this, and he told everyone to repent. So on the third day, God made the fish spit Jonah out of the fish. On the third day, not only was Jonah saved, but the people of Nineveh, they were saved. Okay? So again, why is it the third day? What's so important about the third day? The third day, a part of the third day, it represents salvation. Okay? That's why the third day is so important. Okay? So this brings us to the end of this one episode. I'm going to do one more episode, so stay tuned. Eric, thank you so much for your question.